Hello there and welcome to the Bearded Peacock. It's my channel where we talk all things Leeds United. It's a late one from me today. It's a Peacocks in the Present video. It's the part of the channel where I just round up sort of recent news of, surrounding the club. It doesn't fit the transfers really, doesn't really fit in anywhere else. So it's just a news. It's still like a news bulletin, isn't it, really? I'm going to try and make it pretty quick, to be fair. There's just a few bits of news, obviously, over the last couple of days that I'd like to address. So, yeah, Peacocks in the Present. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get on with it then. So, first bit of news, obviously, there's a couple of new contracts being handed out by the club over the last couple of days. We'll start with Archie Gray, of course. 17-year-old Archie has been an absolute standout of this season, breakout season for him. Obviously, famous name, synonymous with Leeds is the Gray family. He's another one from that family. Is a fantastic young talent. 17-year-old Archie Gray signed a new 4-year contract. I think it was on Wednesday, perhaps. Yeah, 4-year contract, 2028. That will take him up to, I think, his 21st birthday. Yeah, fantastic player, isn't he? Actually played 25 of our 27 games. A lot of them, obviously, in the right back position. As of recording that, obviously, I expect him to play again at right back on Sunday in the game against Preston at Ellen Road. But yeah, obviously start the season in centre mid. Obviously, he is a centre midfield player. Farker's challenged him to this right back role, and more often than not, he's come out on top. Really, hasn't he? There has been a few occasions where he's been found wanting a little bit, but he's a young player, and he will have situations and games like that where he just needs to learn. But that's his part of his learning. Like I said, he's 17 years old. He's got plenty of people in his family, I'm sure, who have played football, obviously, at great levels, so he can call upon them for advice. And I know Fark has been. I didn't really listen to. I listened to a bit of the press conference today, Friday, but I didn't listen to all of it. So I think Farker did go on and say about Archie Gray later on in the conference, but I didn't watch as far as that, to be fair. But I think he's been singing his praises basically, and something along the lines of he stays after training to help put away the equipment and things like that, helping the staff out. So obviously Archie's is he's dedicated to the cause, and he's fair play to him. He's deserved that contract. He's played out. He absolutely hasn't looked any. There's been one or two occasions, like I said, where he's had a difficult time, but up against certain opposition. But generally, he hasn't looked out of place at all in this championship season, and can play it comfortably. You forget how young he is at times. He's looked that comfortable in a lot of the games, and obviously he's been linked with big clubs like Liverpool in the past as well. Past sort of few months as well. So great time down. Into a good contract. Obviously, he's probably paid a lot more than he was in his last one. And for me, yeah, it's great to sign him into a new contract. But this, for me, only means that we can get with a player like Archie. It's different for different players, isn't it? But for me, with a player like Archie, um, you kind of know that his stock is only going to rise, and that we're going to probably struggle, particularly if we can't get out of this division, to keep hold of him for that much longer, really. Like I said, it's different for certain ones, and like I think it's different for the lad we're going to speak about after Archie, who's also signed a new deal. I think that's slightly different in terms of why he signed it. For me, Archie Gray signed the contract doesn't mean he's going to be there the whole 4 years. It just means for me we can probably get like quite a lot of money for him once he does decide to depart Ellen Road. If he does, but it's pretty obvious that if we don't get out of this division soon, then he probably will, won't he, Bob? Let's wait and see. But that's the first bit of news. Let me know your thoughts on Archie Gray in the comments down below. The second bit of news, obviously, it's a new contract sort of session, isn't it, on the video today, and it's Mateo Joesph, the young 20-year-old Spanish-born English youth international um, striker or forward player. Plenty of goals for Joesph in the under-21 team. Has you know, he's deserved his chance in the first team. He's got in the team in the matchday squad quite a few times this season. Only 40 minutes on the pitch for Leeds over 5 games. The most he's played was in the Boxing Day defeat at Preston, where he got 22 minutes. The rest of the time, it's been sort of less than 10 or even just 1 minute in some occasions. But he's looked decent for me, and I don't, let me know your thoughts on Joesph in the comments there below. But for me, he's not looked out of place either. I think a lot of people seem to think that he just note that he doesn't do anything. But for me, he's put himself about when he's been on the pitch, from what I've seen anyway. Um, not afraid of the physical or the physicality of the championship. It would seem from my eyes, and I'm happy to see him given a chance really, and long may that continue. I don't know whether he'll be involved on Sunday, but hopefully he will be, because I think the goal is his initial first goal for Leeds United at senior level. I feel is coming. Bags and bags of goals at under 21 youth level, and worked his way into the youth levels at England as well. So I'm hopeful that he gets a few more minutes and maybe 1 or 2 goals before the end of the season, because he looks a good player for me. I mean, let me know your thoughts on him in the comments there below. But he has also, like Archie Gray, and this has happened today or Friday as of recording, he has signed as well a new 4-year deal, which will take him, bring him, to in Leeds till 2028, 2028, which will mean he'll be here till he's 24. Now, I say it was different for Archie in terms of, obviously he's got a higher stock, even though he's a few years younger than Mateo. I think he's got high, obviously, well, is high a stock. The standard of that he is playing at is higher than Joesph is. And, this is what I mean by different circumstances in terms of signing contracts. I don't see we get rid of Joesph anytime soon, and this is a potential one where he can go on to play for Leeds for a long period of time, possibly. Whereas, like I said, Archie, that if we don't go into the Premier League by the time his contract is up, somebody's going to be knocking on the door saying, hey, he's a great player, we want to take him for X amount of money. It's different with Joesph, like I said, but I'm excited by the prospect of Joesph. 20, I mean, he's 3 years older than Archie Gray, but we can't all be playing at that level when we're that young, can we? But just a couple of bits to finally wrap this video up. So Lewis Bate has gone on loan to MK Dons, League Two side MK Dons. It hasn't really worked for Bate, has it? Fark obviously doesn't fancy him. League Two seems a little bit of a low sort of slide for him, really. He's playing with ex-Leeds youth striker there, Max Dean, who I think is having a little decent season in League Two there for him. But Lewis Bate goes on loan till the end of the season. Let me know your thoughts on Bate, because it's an interesting debate about Bate. Really, we haven't really seen much of him, to be fair, to make much of a judgment. But obviously came with high stock coming through the Chelsea ranks, and hasn't really worked. Odd minute here and there. I don't know whether he's played any. He definitely hasn't played any in the Championship this season. I don't know whether I don't think he's ever played a senior appearance apart from in the cup competitions, and I think he played this season in one of the cup games. Maybe it was Shrewsbury at home, right at the top end of the season, right at the beginning of the season. But to just round up the video, then, ex-England international and former Middlesbrough and Liverpool player Stuart Downing is now seemingly on the Leeds United under-21 coaching staff. I don't think he's the manager. I have seen some reports saying he's the new manager. I don't think he's the manager, but I think he is working with the under-21s. By the sound of it, until the end of the season, he put a Instagram post out earlier today saying he's had a great few days with Leeds, and he's looking forward to working with the under-21s for the remainder of the season. I think it's in a coaching capacity. I don't think he is the manager. Obviously, ex-England international, like I said, had a wicked left foot. Loved to strike a free kick. He was a good hit of a free kick in his time, didn't he? Knew how to hit a free kick into the back of the net. He was a decent player, was Downing. So maybe he can work his magic with the young lads in the youth team there, the under-21 side. So that's a bit of news for you on the Peacocks in the present video. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm not sure if it'll come out. Well, I'll probably just put it straight on. So, late on in Friday, late night Friday. Let's see who's going to watch this one late on a Friday night. But if you do, props to you. Remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Obviously, like I said, we're trying to hit 1,000. Let's go before the end of the season. It's a real ask because, it's coming up to the 4th year. It's coming up to the fourth birthday of the channel as well. Perhaps we might do something special for that. That is next Wednesday, I believe it is. So let's see. Thanks a lot for watching anyway. Marching on together. I'll see you on the next one.